When is the Medicare Open Enrollment Period? That's what we're going to talk about in this video, so please stay tuned. A lot of people are thinking about Medicare right now as I make this video because open enrollment starts October 15th and it runs through December 7th. And so you may be wondering not only when is the Medicare open enrollment, but what is the Medicare enrollment and what does it mean I can do? So the Medicare open enrollment runs from October 15th through December 7th. Anyone enrolled in Medicare can make changes to their coverage. This is the best time of the year to review what you have, decide if it's going to fit your needs in the coming year, and adjust your coverage if need be. Medicare open enrollment is typically for people on a Medicare Advantage plan or a prescription drug plan, those two coverages. And so a lot of people who have a supplement ask me, what do I need to do during the open enrollment? Supplements are different. If you're happy with your supplement, you can just keep paying that premium and you're going to retain that coverage. But every Medicare Advantage plan, every prescription drug plan changes a little bit every year. So this is why you want to review what you have and determine, is this the right coverage for me in the new year? So what can you do during the Medicare open enrollment? Well, you can choose to switch from original Medicare to a Medicare Advantage plan or from a Medicare Advantage plan back to original Medicare. And let me just say that if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan and you're thinking about going back to original Medicare, you always want to remember that when you are on original Medicare, if you don't have a Medicare supplement plan, you have a 20% exposure to what's left over from original Medicare. So original Medicare pays 80, which is your A and B, 80%, and then the 20% would come to you. So that's why people purchase Medicare supplement plans. They want to reduce the financial exposure of those out-of-pocket leftover costs from original Medicare. The reason I bring that up is if you have a Medicare Advantage plan and you decide you want to go back on original Medicare, depending on your circumstances, you may or may not qualify for a Medicare supplement plan. So you're going to want to figure that out first before you make that leap to original Medicare. Because again, Medicare Advantage plans have a limit, a maximum out of pocket that you're going to spend. So you want to take that into consideration. A lot of people just say, oh, it's Medicare open enrollment. I can switch from a Medicare Advantage plan back to original Medicare. Yes, but are you going to qualify for a Medicare supplement plan? Because if you don't, now you have a new problem, and that is there's no cap on that 20% exposure. Next, you can switch from one Medicare Advantage plan to another. So maybe you have a Medicare Advantage plan with drugs and you want to switch to one that doesn't have drugs. Or maybe you have one with drugs, without drugs, and you want to switch to one that has drugs. Maybe you want to change companies. Maybe you want to get a better plan in your area. You found out there's better plans now available near you that weren't available last year. You can switch from one Medicare Advantage plan to another during the open enrollment. You can also join or leave a Medicare prescription drug plan. So the thing that I hear from a lot of people sometimes is that they got to notice their prescription drug plan is going to change in some way. Maybe it's the premium, maybe it's the co-payments, maybe it's the deductibles, maybe it's what's actually covered, which drugs are covered and which drugs aren't covered, or the cost of how they're covered. Medicare drug plans, Part D prescription plans vary greatly. And so you may not be wanting to keep the same Part D drug plan for the coming year you had this year. So you can join or leave a Medicare prescription drug plan. Next, you may decide I want to change the Medicare Advantage plan I have with the same company. So sometimes what happens is somebody has a $0 Medicare Advantage plan. and they've been pretty healthy. And so they haven't used many services, and so there hasn't been a lot of out of pocket expenses. But maybe your health changed this year, and maybe next year there's some services that I'm going to be need to have done that are potentially going to be a little more expensive than this year. So you may want to reduce your maximum out of pocket exposure, which means you might have to increase your monthly premium. So you may look at the plan details that are sent to you about your current plan. It's called the annual notice of change. If you have a Medicare Advantage plan or you have a prescription drug plan, you want to look for a piece of mail from that company that is, when you open it up, it's going to say this is your annual notice of change, and it's going to explain to you how that plan is going to change in the coming year. Remember, Medicare Advantage plans and prescription drug plans always change, and something changes about them. Something does. That's why they have to send you that annual notice of coverage. The other thing you'll just want to take into consideration is if you choose to make a change during the open enrollment, it won't go into effect until January 1st. Again, if you make a change. Some people, they don't make a change because they're happy with the plan they have, or they don't review their annual notice of change, or they don't pay attention, and October 15th through December 7th just flies by and they realize, oh, I missed the open enrollment period. I can't change anything. I guess that's the coverage I'm going to get in the new year. Again, if you're happy with your coverage, you don't have to change. So if somebody's calling you, emailing you, sending you postcards, you're watching TV, just remember, you don't have to change your coverage. You might be happy with what you have. But you do want to do a little bit of due diligence. Make sure that the coverage you have this year is going to match what you need it to do in the coming year. This is your one opportunity, the Medicare Open Enrollment from October 15th through December 7th. My name is Jamie from meetjamie.com. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'll put my phone number and my website in the description of this video, or you can also just leave me a comment below and I'll do my best to answer there as well. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.